Morning students. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting poem, that is Swallows Travel to and Fro by Robert Louis Stevenson. Let's discuss the objectives first, children. By the end of this session, you will be able to understand the summary of the poem. You will be able to understand the explanation of stanza 1, and you will be clear with the literary devices related to stanza 1. Now children, take out your Headward English Trail Reader 8 book, and in this book, take out your poem 9, Swallows Travel to and Fro. Let's talk about the poet first. Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson was a Scottish essayist. Children, he was a Scottish essayist. He was a poet and author of fiction and travel books. He is known for his novels like Treasure Island, Kidnapped, etc. And Swallows Travel to and Fro is one of his best known poems. Now students, let's discuss the brief summary of the poem. Stevenson made this poem with an idea of human interconnectedness in mind. He wants to show through his speaker how everyone can relish in their relation through nature. He uses the image of swallows traveling to and fro to show the freedom of the world and one's connection to everyone else. The piece starts with the swaying motion of wind and breeze made by his word. Breeze has love on its back and transports wherever it travels. The first stanza ends by saying, "At noon, no matter where you and I are, we see the same sunshine above." He means to say that it doesn't matter where we are living. What matters is our relation. We are connected to one another through nature. We see the same sunshine above, same sky, same moon, same trees around, and the same earth down. Now students, look at your books. At the top, time to start. Look at these two images. One is a scene from India and the other from an African country. Can you tell which is which? So children, it is very difficult to say which image is of India and which is of Africa, as in both the images we can find the sky, the same clouds and the same trees around. So what does this prove? This proves that wherever we live in, we can relish the same natural environmental experience. So now let's read the poem first, children. Swallows travel to and fro. Swallows travel to and fro, and the great winds come and go, and the steady breeze blow. Bearing perfume, bearing love, breezes hasten, swallows fly. Towered clouds forever ply, and at noonday, you and I see the same sunshine above. Dew and rain fall everywhere. Harvests ripen, flowers are fair, and the whole round earth is bare to the moonshine and the sun and the live air, fanned with wings, bright with breeze and sunshine, brings into contact distant things and makes all the countries one. Let us wander wherever we will. Something kindred greets us still. Something seen on vale or hill falls familiar on the heart. So, at scent or sound or sight, severed souls by day and night tremble with the same delight, tremble half the world apart. Now students, how do we write reference to the context? First of all, we have to mention the hint. In hint, you have to write down the first word of the stanza and the last word of the stanza. So, in stanza 1, the first word is swallows and the last word is love. After this, we have to write reference to the context. In reference to the context, we have to mention the name of the poem and the name of the poet. And then you have to mention what does the poet want to convey. So see, these lines have been extracted from a marvelous poem, Swallows Travel to and Fro, penned down by a renowned poet, Robert Louis Stevenson. In these lines, the poet says that though all the people in this world do not stay at the same location, yet they experience the same natural environment. Students, let's discuss stanza 1 with difficult word meanings and literary devices. Now see children, swallows means birds, travel to and fro. To and fro means moving constantly, backward and forward. Children, write down meaning side by side. Second line, and the great winds come and go. Come and go means exist or be present for a limited period of time. Next line, and the steady. Steady means constant, breezes blow. Fourth line, bearing means carrying, perfume means fragrance, bearing love. So children, in these lines, the poet says that like swallows, the winds come and go through the sky. The breezes blow more gently alongside the stronger winds, and these forces carry with them perfume, that is pleasant smell, and love on its back. And this line introduces the idea of emotions, love and kinship, traveling by distance within nature. So, wherever these breezes blow, they carry on its back love and the pleasant smell and transport it wherever they go. Students, let's discuss literary devices of this stanza. First is symbolism. Symbolism means the word that suggests more than its literal meaning. So, symbolism is the word that tells you something more than its meaning. Swallows. Swallows means birds, but it symbolizes freedom of the world and one's connection to everyone else. Children, write down swallows as symbolism, and your next is alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of same consonant sounds in a line. Children, whenever you will find in a line the repetition of same consonant sounds, it will be your alliteration. See in your third line also, and the steady breezes blow. Here we'll find that the consonant sounds of B is repeated twice. So this is your alliteration. Children, mark there as alliteration, breezes blow. Children, next is kinesthetic imagery. So what is it? It is a poetic device that gives a feeling of natural or physical bodily movement or action like heartbeat, breathing, etc. So children, what is kinesthetic imagery? That tells you about the movement, the words that tell you about some movement. So here in this stanza, swallows travel to and fro. To and fro, it is denoting movement. So this is your kinesthetic imagery. Students, let's recapitulate what we have done in stanza 1. Where do swallows travel? Swallows travel to and fro through the sky towards distant place. And to what are the swallows compared? Swallows are compared to the winds. And what do the breezes bear with them? The breezes bear with them perfume and love. And they transport it. Where do they transport it? They transport it wherever they go. So children, this was all about stanza 1. Students, this is your homework time now. What you have to do, you have to write down the explanation of stanza 1, which I have discussed now. And you have to plan stanza 2 and 3. Thank you and have a nice day.